We should have seized all Saudi Arabian assets in this country, declared war on Saudi Arabia, rounded up every one of their citizens living in our country and executed them on public television, and then fired multiple nuclear warheads at that country.
Another video, and it is Monday. So I've actually got the day off today, and I'm going to be going training later. So yeah, we're going to be putting all that new footage up on YouTube. Yep. So we're going to start out a new, and I might actually put it all onto a new channel called VK Lifestyle. So I'll let you know about that, where the journey to Texas is gonna go. But today we're gonna review Jason Blaha's review video of Frank Tufano. So, can you isolate back without biceps? Very important subject, and of course Jason Blaha needs to inject himself into the situation. And I don't know, I've never really seen or come across Frank Tufano, but having watched just a few seconds of his video to find out what video Blaha was reviewing, let's just say I can see why Jason Blaha would be watching little Frank Tufano. Yeah, I bet he couldn't get his trousers down quick enough to review this video. Frank Tufano, I mean, he's not the most masculine fellow in the world. In fact, quite androgynous. Very feminine in his physique, his face, facial features, and hair as well. Looks like he's sporting a perm. So, yeah, he's got his hair permed. He's got a beautiful set of white veneers or implants, whatever they are, but they're quite spectacular. That's quite a grill he's got there, and just very delicate, very feminine, feline features and mannerisms, let's say. And all this information was acquired from just a few seconds of watching this video. So we're going to watch this video to get a taste, get a flavour of the theme that Blaha is reviewing. All right, so we're going to get a feel for the video, and then we review Jason Blaha's review video. And I have the Union Jack behind me, because we are in October and we are counting down the days until we finally leave the EU, European Union, the corrupt organization that funnels money out of our great country. So, yeah, 31 days and counting. So Halloween is going to be extra special for me this year. I am a Halloween fan, but it's going to be gold plated this Halloween. It's going to be a gold plated Halloween because it's the day we leave the EU. Anyway, so back to the video. Let's have a little look at Frank Tufano and his feminine ways. And I tell you, well, just watch the video and we'll talk about it.
Can you work out your back without working out your biceps? Whether you want to fix your muscular...
Straight away. Straight away, we can see. I don't even like looking at it, actually. I'm actually hiding it with my hand. I don't like seeing men bent over with their back arched, but this is something Blaha likes to do for his audience. And I can probably see, if I was in Blaha's 2-inch high height adjusting boots, I can see the attraction he'd have to little Frankie Tufano. That's a tongue twister. Try saying that out, fast. Right, so yeah, we got this little fella bending over in front of the camera. Again, not something I enjoy watching. But obviously, something Jason Blaha certainly enjoys watching.
Muscular imbalances, or achieve a certain aesthetic, maybe even try a new exercise, not many people know that you can actually isolate your back without using your biceps. My general training philosophy is time under tension, high volume, short rest time, moderate repetition tempo, and taking the muscle to failure nearly every set. However, I do this with a light weight to isolate the muscle, so
I mean, it looks a bit weird. I mean, the way he's really bending his back and sticking, arching his back there, that can't be good for your back, or, I don't know. For me, that just, you want to keep your core strong and just, use your hips more, not bend your back. But I'm not here to critique fitness form or training form. I'm not here to critique that, but I'm just adding a caveat that body position, that spinal bend, that arched back looks very strange, and it is something I think Blaha picks up on after he's finished pleasuring himself reviewing the video. It's something that he picks up on as well. So the very slim, tiny thing that we could probably all agree on and agree with Blaha on, believe me, it's a strange thing to say. Agreeing with Blaha on anything is a bizarre concept. But anyway, so he just goes through these very strange, weird routine of back exercises. And let's just watch on.
the rep range is usually 15 to 20 for the lighter sets and 10 to 12 for the moderate weight sets.
It's making my
With
back
this
ache.
technique, you can even perform compound exercises without using accessory muscles. But we will focus on exercises that most people can execute without advanced training knowledge. The most important aspect being that you are feeling the muscle contraction during the movement. If you want to work out your back, make sure you feel it in your back, not your biceps or forearms. So we have the rhomboids and inner back and the lats, which are sometimes referred to as the wings of.
I don't know. This bit of his back looks just strange. I just want to put my knee in it, grab his shoulder, and crack it back, so to push that bit out. Because that just looks weird there, Just looks weird. That weird sort of S shape almost. It's an S shape. And that's very strange.
The back. And then we have the lower back, lumbar spine area. Some people include trapezius, the muscles near your neck, but that is not what we are covering today. The main exercise is a pull through. This can be done with.
This is turning into a double roast. I don't know where to begin. I can see why Jason Blaha would be attracted to this young boy. He's very feminine. It's very strange, his hands are very feminine and delicate and look manicured. He's shaved, he's smooth as a baby's bottom. He's waxed, I'd say. His eyebrows, he's got a perm. And if you've ever seen him smile, his teeth just shine at you. You need to put your sunglasses on because they're so bright and white. Very feminine, sort of slight. He's a classic twink. Let's face it. Frank the Twink Tufano. He is a classic twink. And, you can see why Blaha would spend a good few hours at night alone with the lights off reviewing this video. I reckon he reviewed it a couple of times over the weekend. He had a good review to this video. Again, like I say, it's just turning into a double roast because this chap's just strange. He's on the same spectrum, isn't he, as the Blaha. Very strange. This is the problem with the internet. Anyone can have their little 15 minutes, of fame, and it just gives a voice to every idiot out there, you know. Whereas before, natural order would just kick in, the natural order of things, and the idiots, the retards, the douchebags, and the absolute morons would just stay low and keep a low profile. But the internet has just given, especially YouTube, has given every idiot out there a voice and an outlet. And on the same page, by the same standard, if you like, it's allowed us viewers, voyeurs, twisted voyeurs, to look in, like I said in my last video yesterday, to look in on this strange world that we wouldn't usually see. The hoarders, the freaks, the crazies, all these people, the loonies. It allows us to see into their world, doesn't it? Their world, their weird sort of mannerisms, their weird habits, their weird tics, and all these things we can see, their strange behavior. And it's very strange, some stuff, especially in Blaha's case, where you lock yourself away in a room and eat your dinner on a box while sitting on a squat seat. I mean, that was ridiculous. I mean, he's there parade. Oh, we won't get into it, but it still makes me laugh now. He's there parading himself, trying to convince everyone he's a tough alpha. But it just makes himself look absolutely ridiculous and foolish, and a laughing stock even more. But anyway, back to this video, the double roast, where we got little sort of androgynous boy. I mean, you wouldn't know. I mean, if you put him in a dress, you wouldn't, put some fake boobs on him, you just wouldn't know, would you? He could pass off quite easily as a girl. But anyway, that's probably what's appealing to Blaha.
With different machines. The first is just a straight bar. To perform this exercise, you want to keep your arms static and bring the bar down, rotating your shoulders, squeezing your back at the end of the movement. Overhand grip tends to work the upper back, rhomboids, inner back, and an underhand grip focuses more on the lower back and lats. You can do this on a lat pull-down machine with a much larger bar, with a wider grip as opposed to a tricep machine. One variation of this is on a cable crossover. The same principles applying to both an overhand and underhand grip. This is better for symmetry, and you can even do one arm at a time if you wanted to. Really make sure to stretch out the lats during the negative and squeeze your back at the end of the positive repetition.
I mean, I'm watching it in amazement. I mean, you can probably see it on my face. I'm just like, what am I watching? This is just bizarre. It's not what you want to watch, is it? It's not what I want to watch. I mean, who would this really appeal to? This is a double roast. Who would this appeal to? Little girls? But little girls aren't into going to the gym, really. They're used to playing with little sort of Barbie dolls and, I Love My Little Pony and all that sort of nonsense, They're not into going to the gym. And I think only sort of 12-year-old girls would gain anything from this. 12-year-old girls that want to get ripped or pumped. 12-year-old girls that want to get jacked. I mean, it's quite a narrow niche he's going for. It's quite a small population, isn't it? It's a tiny little sort of group that he's going for. Absolutely bizarre. 12-year-old girls that want to get jacked. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm at a loss.
To flex the muscle. The rope pull through is great as well. A closer rope grip will stimulate the lats, whereas a closer rope grip will stimulate the lats, whereas the wider rope grip works the inner part of the back.
God, this is ridiculous. I mean, this is almost as ridiculous as Blaha's. He's in his own little autistic world, isn't he? I mean, no one can top Blaha. But this is coming, at the moment, it's coming a close second. One good thing, he's in a real gym surrounded by real people. That's a good thing. So he's not some weird agoraphobic hermit that locks himself away because he's got a fatwa from a billion Muslims. Jesus Christ. Why did I do this? Why did I review this one? Face.
Great as well. A closer rope grip will stimulate the lats, whereas the wider rope grip works the inner part of the back. When using the closer grip, you should feel more of an intense stretch in your lats during the negative repetition and an almost sharp contraction of the lats.
All right, okay, so we've seen the little, Frank Tufano. All right, so now let's see Jason Blaha. Jeez, I've spent 15 minutes just looking at this video because it's so bizarre and funny. All right, so let's get into the meat of the subject. And here he is, our favourite boy, our boy Hemingway, the canine killer. Here he is with his arms stretched up. With his thumb up to stop himself twitching and getting freaked out and having the arm, the withered arm. Look, Blaha, I got a flag that I honour. I love my flag and my country. You, mate, are a disgrace to yours. You're a disgrace to YouTube. And the t-shirt, he's still there in the same old t-shirt and the same old smelly underpants. Anyway, let's crack on. Look, the retarded, stupid eyebrow. Why does he do that? I think it's part of the stroke.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. You guys know what time it is. I'm talking about current events in the online fitness community. And for those of you who like these type of videos, please remember to click like down below. If you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. It would be greatly appreciated. On to the point. Had a number of people link me a video by Frank Tufano. Like, Jason, I know you're trying to be positive these days.
Trying.
Frank made, quite frankly, an embarrassing video. Could you maybe give him some advice? And I think that's the direction I want to go with this.
Frank made an embarrassing video. Frank did. Just the one. How many embarrassing videos have you made, Mr. Red Towel? Mr. Squat a Lot? Mr. I can't squat because my heart will explode, but I'm going to squat anyway because it's absolute nonsense and I'm lying for sympathy. Yeah. How many embarrassing videos have you made, Mr. Mercenary, Mr. Fiction Writer, Mr. Street Racer? I could go on, couldn't I? Mr. Black Belt. Dear. All right, let's continue on. He says other people. Frank Tufano has made an embarrassing video. His whole life is embarrassing. Locked in a closet, locked in an apartment, in your underwear, in a t-shirt that never gets changed or washed, bringing shame to a flag. We can see who's embarrassing. And just because the little twink can't work out properly, you know. Even so, his life is more successful than yours, my friend. How many subscribers does he have? Does it say? Let's have a look. Okay, 58. So Jason Blaha has, you know, obviously paid subscribers. He's paid for them, you know. That's according to rumor. Anyway, let's get cracking.
Because he is catching a lot of flack for it. There are people over there mocking him and making fun of him for a lot of it. And that's what happens, guys. Believe me, I'm familiar with that. I understand that when you put yourself out there on the internet, you put yourself out there for criticism, and you are going to, when you do anything wrong or goofy in any way,
wrong, goofy, or blatantly lie and try and construct a past that you never had. Mercenary. I mean, mercenary. You. Just stop for a minute. Stop. Stop for a minute. You, a mercenary. We could creep up behind him, clap my hands in. He shit his pants, wouldn't he? I mean, this guy is terrified of his own shadow. Yet he tried to construct a backstory that he was a mercenary. This guy, no one else. This guy. I mean, the most I can't even speak. The most unconvincing person that could ever be a mercenary. You know, we know what guys that have served in the army, been out to Iraq, done a couple of tours of Iraq or Afghanistan. You know, we see what they look. I mean, I know people that have been out there. They're not the same when they come back. They're fucked up. You know, they're hardened in ways that people can't understand unless you've been there. Ways I can't understand because I haven't been there. You know, they've killed other human beings. Okay, whatever the politics behind it and whatever their bizarre sort of religious madness is, it doesn't matter. You're still destroying another person's life. And that changes you, as Blaha read once and then repeated on video. He still remembers the first person he killed. The first person he killed and their brains blowing out everywhere. It still gives him nightmares. You know, this is nonsense. But it does change you, by all accounts. You know, you can see it when you talk to these people. I work with people who've been out in Iraq and Afghanistan. I work with veterans, people that have been out there, veterans. And it does. They're different people. And for this guy to try and palm himself off as one of them, he wouldn't last 5 seconds in a combat zone. He would be crying and shivering and shitting himself before the door even opened, before he put his boots on. You know, so this, you know, take that flag down. You disgrace stolen valor, powder wars, taking out Colombian drug cartels, taking out Hajis. Take that flag down, you disgrace. Anyway, sorry, got a little emotional there, thinking about him saying that he served his country. Take that flag down. Put a white flag up there, because that's what you are. You're a coward. You need to put a white flag behind you on that wall.
you're going to catch flack for it. I don't want to give him more flack for it than that. And the reason for that, he's catching enough of that. So let's come over and discuss some positive advice. And the thing is, Frankie,
Frankie.
you're trying to promote the meat and everything else.
What, are they friends now? Frankie. Why is he called? His name is clearly Frank. He clearly wants to be called Frank. Yeah, clearly wants to be called Frank because that's why he's got it there. But Jason Blaha, being Jason Blaha, calls him Frankie. Pathetic. Everything about this cuck is pathetic.
Some positive advice. And the thing is, Frankie, you're trying to promote
Frankie.
Everything else, and you're over here.
Why would you call him Frankie? JC Blaha. Such a, oh my God. JC, Frankie. JC.
You're dealing with that end of YouTube fitness. And if you're going to do stuff like this, you are hurting your cause, brother. You are hurting your cause.
Oh, every word that comes out, you're hurting your cause, brother. What? Now he's channeling Hulk Hogan, is he? You're hurting your cause, brother. Me and the 24-inch pythons, brother. What? hurting the cause, brother. What's he talking about? Man, he annoys me. Can you tell?
Putting out training like this that is so it's bad. It's really bad. It's not only is it bad of the concepts themselves, but you don't know how to execute the movements, and that's the real problem. I mean, even if you wanted to promote some of these exercises, and everything you are promoting, by the way, is an accessory type movement. These are smaller secondary exercises that should be done after your real training. You are not executing a single one of them correctly. Because he seems to be caught up in this idea of really lightweight, this mind-muscle connection thing and time under tension, but he doesn't do any of the exercises correctly. Everything's all about really this weird scapular retractions.
You know, Jason Blaha, so desperate for content, so desperate to make a video on anything. It's a bonus for him if it's a young, smooth, twinky kind of boy. But, you know, we watched a few minutes of this, didn't we? We watched a few minutes. 2.5 minutes we watched of this. It says here, look, can you isolate your back without biceps? So just from that title alone and seeing what he's doing, okay, he does it in a weird way, but can you isolate your back without biceps? He's isolating his back without using anything else, of course. That's what he's doing. That's why it looks a bit strange. He's doing it with a weird arch back, and his form is very strange. I'm not here to critique his form or anything, but just reading that alone, can you isolate your back without, tells you he's isolating his back. You know, but Jason Blaha, he's only got the sort of intelligence of a 6th grade student, you know, 6th grader, according to his criminal record. And that's what he's doing. He's not doing a compound movement, bringing lots of big muscles into play, bringing his arms and shoulders and everything. He's trying to isolate his back, which is why he's doing these strange looking movements. He's just trying to isolate parts of his back when he's doing it. It looks strange. It's not something I'd do, but it's something he's doing. And he's told us he's doing that in the title. But Blaha has to just go off on his own little journey, his own tangent, because Blaha knows best. I mean, clearly looking at him, you can see such a specimen of health and fitness. He has all the answers.
And awkward movements, and he doesn't have any body control. And even the thing is, even though he's on some exercises, he's doing ranges of motion that are inappropriate, like they're too far one way, he doesn't finish them on the other side. I mean, a perfect example, like he does a lot of these almost weird Romanian type deadlifts, where he is rounding his back completely cat back at the bottom, instead of, again, maintaining.
Yeah, he likes that. He likes the arch back on a man. That's why he does it for his G4P boys. He knows that's what gets them off. But, you know, but who, you know, this is called offering Frank advice to Frank Tufano after watching his back training video this week, right? So, who offered you? Who asked you to offer Frank advice? Did he ask you? Did anyone ask you? I've been awared by my sock accounts. No one asked you to inject yourself into this. No one asked for your advice. No one asked you anything. In fact, people would prefer if you just stayed out of their stuff. Stayed away from their videos. Don't mention their names. But you have to mention their names because that's called clickbaiting. And that's the only way you can get YouTube shekels. YouTube shekels. Gotta get the YouTube shekels. Yeah? That's it. You clickbait other people's names in your titles to try and get some of their viewers coming over. That's all it is. You've been doing it for years. It's the only way you can get anyone interested in your videos. So he just rambles on and on and on about this young man, young, smooth, twinky little boy, just the way he likes them, and adds advice, gives advice, critiques, and all the rest of it, for no apparent reason other than YouTube shekels. Got to get the YouTube shekels. 94 dislikes. I mean, Jesus. Anyway, so let's. He's looking at this little chap here doing his workout
when performing the positive repetition. The wider rope grip focuses on the rhomboids mostly and is a great isolation exercise. I'm a huge fan of hyperextensions. If you make sure to really squeeze your back at the top of the movement, they don't just work your lower back, which is what most people believe.
I mean, he's just a strange little chap, he's a little fella, isn't he? He's not a bodybuilder, he's just a fella doing a bit of training, low intensity, well, high intensity, I suppose, but low weight, sort of going for the aerobics sort of body, the old aerobics, let's get physical. Olivia Newton-John, he's in that sort of, he's just a young kid. I don't want to critique him or take the piss on him. I mean, he's a bit weird because he's so androgynous. He's not exactly masculine, is he? But, but where does Blaha get off on talking about a young boy? We know the attraction, but anyway, so if Blaha is willing to do this, then let's go and have a look at him. Yeah, you go from this sort of, he's tanned, he's fit, I suppose, for a 12-year-old girl, he's quite fit. Fit as in healthy fit, not fit as in sexy or anything like that. I don't want to be making any strange, oh God, don't want to even go down that route, but fit and healthy, like as a 12-year-old girl could be. Oh, Jesus. And then you see this. Oh my God. In the room. There's his box, his dinner table. Look, there it is. There's the box hidden away. Time for dinner soon, Blaha. Oh, hang on. That looks actually the right height. He probably sits on his bench to eat his dinner. There we go. All has been revealed. Not the squat seat thing that he sits on. That actually looks a better height for the box to have dinner on. So we can see it now. We can see it from this picture that when he's going to enjoy a tasty meal of cheap meat, frozen broccoli and eggs, all washed down from the jug, a gallon of milk. Yeah, a delicious healthy meal. And he just brings the box around the weights and plops it down here, sits on the bench and enjoys his feast. What a life. Okay. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine spending your life in this room?
And fuck this faggot.
With the chains. Eating your dinner on a box, sitting on a bench that you work out on, in front of your fake weights. I mean, this is the culmination of his life. This is what he owns. He doesn't own a car. He doesn't own a house, firstly. He doesn't own a car. He has no career. All his worldly belongings and valuables are in this room. He doesn't have any decent clothes. No. I don't like designer clothes myself. Because of my work and whatnot, I like my clothes to be quite functional and tactical. What does he do? But they have to be very functional because I'm very physical when I'm working. So I don't like designer clothes, and at the end of the day, I've never seen the point in designer clothes. I don't want to wear clothes with some man that I've never met, his name on my clothes, or some And it's usually a homosexual. Not that there's anything wrong with homosexuals. Do whatever you like behind closed doors. Just don't promote it to children, is my view. If you're a consenting adult, do what you like. We all have our views on these things. I won't go into that, but so long as you're consenting and of age, you can do pretty much what you like. That's what I say. But I don't want a homosexual man to have his name on my clothes. Call me strange. I'd rather my own name on my clothes because they're my clothes. But anyway, back to the point. This guy has got all his worldly belongings in this room. We don't see TVs. We don't see anything in there. We don't see watches. He doesn't wear watches. Jewelry. There's no jewelry. We don't see designer clothes, like I say. There's nothing, no nice shoes, $400 shoes. There's nothing like that. Snakeskin boots, because he's in Texas. There's none of this. What you're seeing is the culmination of 42 years of Jason Blaha effort work. Jason Blaha's style of effort at work. This is it. He was scamming disability benefits. We heard through the some of my subs, they said that via Moon Cookie said that he had to pay back a lot of his disability benefits because they saw him training. I don't know whether that's true or not, but that's the rumor. But we are looking at his worldly possessions. He always goes on about how he's got this amazing home gym. Blaha, this is a gym. This is a gym. This is a joke. This is the sort of thing a 16-year-old kid has when he's still living at home with his mum, but he wants to get a bit of size, Little bench and barbell set, that's what a kid does. This is it. He's in arrested development, isn't he? He is arrested development. He is an adult child.
Gay for pay faggot. Fuck him.
But imagine how quickly depression would kick in if your existence was in this room and this room only. All right, okay, he goes in the cupboard to film. But imagine how depressing. I mean, look at it. It's just barren. The walls are barren. There's no artwork. Very, very strong lighting. That's not healthy. No natural light coming in the room because he keeps the windows pinned. Excuse me. It's the old smoothie. He keeps the windows pinned. You can see the pin there. Keeps the windows closed and the curtains pinned. So no natural light coming in. It's got this artificial fluorescent sort of light coming in. No stimulation, no art on the walls. At least in lunatic asylums and places where they mental health hospitals, where people go to get psychiatric help, they have coloured walls. They have yellow walls, orange walls to stimulate the mind and bring out some sort of emotional response and try and just stimulate some emotion. But this is just barren and beige. Beige. The most boring colour ever. Beige. The colour of his skin. Beige. And the only thing he's got is some participation medals that are stuck to the wall with pins, and that is a symbol of the only little tiny bit of success he's ever had in anything, and that's why he's proudly stuck them to the wall. So he got these participation medals for showing up at a meet, quite literally, and placing, 6th and 38th in the Wilkes scores. Absolutely terrible. Terrible placings. And these are stuck to his wall proudly because that's his only achievement. any normal person, I kind of put myself in that category, sort of normal. None of us are really 100% normal, but we're all special in our own way, aren't we? But anyone normal spending their days and nights, weeks, months on end in this room with no natural sunlight, no stimulation of any sort, would go insane. I would lose my mind if I spent days and days, weeks and weeks, months and months in this place, eating on a box, sitting on a bench. I mean, that is depressing beyond belief. And like I say, we like reality TV, don't we? We like reality TV. We like to look into the strange lives of people and their strange habits and behaviors. And this is what we see. So it is a double-edged sword. Social media, YouTube, it's a double-edged sword because it allows us to see the good and the bad of people's lives. And this is quite depressing. And we haven't even started the video. So let's crack on.
It's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for another Work Mode workout. Today is Dynamic Effort Bench Press Day. Yes, on a Thursday.
So it's Thursday, and he's doing Dynamic Effort Bench Press Day. Dynamic Effort. Is that a sentence? I'm doing dynamic effort. Dynamic effort. Dynamic means it changes. This is just off the top of my head because I have to do risk assessments, dynamic risk assessments, continuous dynamic risk assessments when I'm working. Yeah, I'm not giving the full details of what I do away, but while I'm working, doing what I do, I'm constantly assessing situations and doing dynamic risk assessments, which means they're risk assessments that are constantly changing. That's what it means. A dynamic environment is an environment that is constantly changing. So dynamic effort bench press day makes no sense. This is a problem with Google and just spending your life completely detached from reality or the outside world. You just use words that you don't understand. Dynamic effort means nothing. But he's written it there. And he said it just then. Dynamic effort bench. So dynamic effort, the way I can interpret that is your effort is changing. I don't understand what he's talking about. Dynamic effort makes no sense. Does it mean... I don't know. Anyway, he's a very strange character. Let's crack on.
I had a half-week deload, which is why there was no max effort stuff put up. And I decided to swap my rotation. I can cover more of that on the max effort.
Dynamic effort, max effort. How about low effort? Yeah, low effort. Fake plates, low effort. Plastic chains, low effort. That nonsense where he's doing that chin up and he was doing that face back in England. Using a fake plastic chain. We know that was a fake plastic chain. And who knows what these are. Maybe this little connecting chain is real, but this lot, nah. These plates, forget it. They're not real. Fake plates, fake chains. We know this. We know it.
Days I decided I need to do on Mondays when I'm fresh, my max effort bench, and then do my squat deadlift day after. So I've got to swap the 2 days around. And I'm still kind of getting used to this flat-footed, but as you guys notice, I get a little more arch. I did have some problems with hitting my uprights.
Look how he's... When you... Oh, where do we begin? When you train, be it whatever you train, yeah? You inhale, exhale, yeah? When you're lowering the bar, you breathe in. When you're pushing out, you push out, yeah? When you're doing any technique, you have to breathe. You have to breathe. He holds his breath all the way through this, because watch when he gets up, his face is purple. He's obviously sucking in his stomach as well, but his face is purple when he stands up. He does that stupid rise from the bench. You know, he rises from the bench, but his face is purple. Have a look. I'll try and catch it on a pause.
Is around. And I'm still kind of getting used to this flat-footed, but as you guys notice, I get a little more arch.
His face is purple. That's because he's holding his breath while he's doing the exercise. Again, a basic fundamental that he isn't following or doing, which shows his absolute lack of knowledge of basic training and physiology. He's going to give himself a heart attack. He really is. He's going to... One day there'd be no more videos. And then the rumour would get round that, you know, he's gone. Because he's, you know, they found him a couple of weeks later on the bench, or next to the bench, you know. Flies all over him. Oh, Jesus.
I did have some problems with hitting my uprights because this is a different bar path and setup than I'm used to. So I've had to slide my bench further down, and I'm actually
holding his breath
spacers behind it, which again are just like my pinch blocks. I space a number of them there so that it's actually up against something for consistent measurement. And there could be something to that. Here's what we're getting out of that. We're getting a lot of benefit for those of us who do a lot of axial loading.
Why does he do all this stuff, man? Why does he do it with this? So he can get a different, because he can't do it like this or inside, because his biceps are ruined. So now he's doing this, you know, with his hands in this position, because he can't do them like this. Where am I? Can't do them this way or this way because he's ruined his biceps. He's torn something. So now he has to do it like that, pull up, because it's easier on the bicep. I mean, I can see that straight away. He's got rid of the plates. And now he's got the plastic chains. I mean, it's bizarre. Just everything about it is just very strange. What's he doing here?
Right. I'm not comfortable with that. So I'll just have to make it work. But I'm running a lot of chain on this. And this has come up too. What is one of the big complaints some people talk about with the JM press can be just like a skull crusher. Tendonitis around the elbow. But where are you getting that? It's from the bottom.
Yeah, it just doesn't look like there's any effort involved with it, which makes me think, you know, fake plates all the way. But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Hope it was informative. Whenever I do these videos afterwards, I feel dirty, like I need to have a shower. You know, because I feel violated watching this. I feel dirty and less of a person. After watching this, I feel cheap watching this sort of stuff. But I hope you don't feel cheap. I hope you gain some satisfaction from watching this. So yeah, like I say, I'm going to leave it there. Yeah, leave it there. I think that's as far as we can go. I think it's going to be almost an hour, this video. So hope you've enjoyed our journey together. And like, subscribe, share, tell a friend, tell a family. Yeah, but do subscribe so that we can get up to 1,000 subs quite quickly. Because I want to do the interactive live stream sessions. They're going to be great, you know. Just all of us being able to just communicate at once and live, you know. It's going to be great because I love reading the comments, you know. Make sure you put some comments down below. Tell me what you think of the video. But how depressing his life is. But yeah, I really want to get up to 1,000 so we can start doing some live streams, you know, and interact all together. Because the comment section it's like a little community now, and I love it because, you know, all the usual suspects are there, and we all have a good chat and a laugh, and it's great, you know, the way it is like a little community, and with one common theme, Mr. Blaha. So yeah, it's a great little thing. And I enjoy reading those comments. You know, I do. They make me laugh and smile and everything, and give me ideas for next video. So do leave a comment, but let's try and get the subs up to 1,000 so we can actually do it live and we can communicate live as well, because that would be fantastic when that happens. If you want to support the channel, there's Patreon, PayPal. Support the channel by liking and sharing the videos. GoFundMe, yeah, I'm still training, I'm still getting out there. Going to start training judo tonight, you know, first time on the mat in a couple of months, so it's going to be hard. Tonight's a fitness session, so just judo circuits, all that stuff. I'm going to be recording that. Hopefully I can. I might just sneak a camera in there anyway, but I'm going to be recording the session, and it's going to be hard because the judo circuits are hard anyway, and the fact that I've been off the mat for a few months, it's going to be hard. I'm going to be really done in afterwards. So I hope you enjoy that, and I'll be uploading that during the week. And I've got another session on Wednesday, which is just technique and randori, so I'll be filming that as well. Randori's sort of fighting, you know, a little bit of fighting. Again, I haven't had a good scrap for a long time, so I'm going to be very rusty, but it doesn't take long for the rust to go, speed to come back. And technique's always there, and strength is always there. All right, so like I say, like, subscribe, share, tell a friend, tell a family, and until next time, I'm out of here.
If you enjoy eating meat, then just eat meat. And I would say, well, if you enjoy raping women, just go rape a woman. I mean, it fucking feels good, right?
Let me put the nail in this coffin real tight. God hates a coward. God hates a coward. 21:8 says, but the cowardly and the unbelievers, murderers, the sexually immoral, sorcerers, idolaters, and all liars shall have their part in the lake of fire, which is the second death. God wrote that, I didn't.
Hey, fuck this Haji. I'm going to shoot him in the gut at 300 yards and let him bleed out for a little while. And then when he's too weak to fight back, me and my friends are going to go pick him up and have a little fun with him and make him fucking talk before we feed him to the pigs.